Hey, what's up, guys? It's Echo here. I'm doing another video today because I got an email from somebody who I guess is doing a project for his audio class, and he's asked a couple trans guys to answer some questions for him. So I'm going to jump right into that. Plus, it is my 11 months on testosterone video, so I'm just going to sort of merge the two of them together, and there you go. Alright, so the first question on his list is, how did you know you were trans? Honestly, I had no idea I was trans until high school. I knew something was different about me. I never liked anything girly. I didn't like girl toys. I didn't like girl games. My mom told me when I was really little I'd kick and scream and rip barrettes out of my hair, and told her I'd cry when I'd wear a dress. One time for Halloween, they made me be Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and I bawled because I couldn't be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with my cousins. Um, when I grew up, though, I just thought I was a lesbian because, I don't know, I realized I liked girls, so I was like, well, that must be it. But there was still something different about it. I recognized that lesbians are girls who like girls, but also like being girls, and that wasn't me. And I think it was my sophomore year in high school that I finally saw, I don't know if it was on MTV, but I finally saw a show that had a special on transgenders, and I was like, that is me! So I finally had a name to it. So the second question is, what is your coming out story? I don't really have one. I guess after I found out what trans was, I just decided, I'm going to research the crap out of every trans thing. I really got obsessed with the YouTube community, and once I was 100% positive this is what I was going to do, I went to therapy. I didn't tell anybody but my girlfriend, and then a month before I started testosterone, I was like, screw it. Anybody who's going to be in my life loves me no matter what, and if they're not, they're not. I don't give a shit if you're my friend, my family, it doesn't matter. So I just went for it because I knew that was what was going to make me happy. Let's see, the next one is my steps of transitioning, how I got testosterone. So I'll say I'm pre any surgery, haven't had chest surgery or bottom surgery, which is pretty cool because if you look at it, I'm like so incredibly flat chested. I'm not wearing a binder, bra, or anything, so that one's, I'm gonna get the keyhole procedure, but I'm hoping to do that within like the next year, and then bottom surgery, I want to do that, but that can wait. That's definitely not a top priority right now. Testosterone. It was a secret community. I mean, it is so underground that it was strange. So what I did was I researched online trans support group. I found one at the Utah Pride Center. I had to call in, do an interview, because they're all about confidentiality and all that stuff. I went to the trans support group, and then I talked to trans people there. I found a therapist there, I went to therapy, and then from there I found a doctor through a fellow trans man, went to the doctor, got on testosterone. Looking back on who I was, what has changed personality-wise, and like how I assess situations. So I would say my personality has done a complete 180 in a positive way since then. So before I was really envious of cisgendered men. I was very angry, felt entirely misunderstood, very emotional, and now I'll say that after my transition, I'm so much more confident. I'm way happier with myself. Life in general is just a lot more beautiful now, and I experience it for what I think it should be experienced as instead of this miserable existence that I feel like I was living before. The way I assess situations is a lot more assertive. It's a lot more straightforward, bold in my decisions and my opinions. I don't devalue my own opinions and attitude now. Before, I kind of was really passive and just let people, overstep me. But now I'm like, no, like I'm a lot more assertive with what I believe. Do people treat me differently? And have my roles changed in society because of the masculinity difference? As stupid as it is, yes, they absolutely have. Also, an extension of the question was, do people expect more or less of you? I can say people expect way less of me, and they give me way more in return. I have quit my job since beginning of transition and started a new job, and while I was doing the interview process, the entire time being perceived as male, I've been offered higher pay rates. immediately. Before, the most common answers, minimum wage, $7.25. If you're not a specialist, if you don't have a degree, $7.25 minimum wage. After, I have not been offered less than $9. Haven't, like, not even on the table for any job that I've applied at. So, needless to say, I think it's bullshit. Obviously, I appreciate the pay raise. Who doesn't want to make more money? But I think the fact that going from female to male, I'm treated so differently is just fucked up. How do I educate people on trans issues? For starters, I try to meet them on an emotional level. I try to, let them get to know me a little bit, be peaceful and calm. And, people are more willing to listen to you if you're nice than if somebody mispronouns you and says she and you just shit your pants. Like, I've seen so many trans men throw temper tantrums because, oh, somebody called me she today and it put me in a world of depression. And it's like, yeah, sorry, dude, you're transgender. It's gonna happen. These are things that you have to live with. Buck up, get over it, and just be kind and introduce that person to the world. Also, I've noticed a lot of trans guys go, we're so misunderstood, nobody gets it, da-da-da-da-da. But anytime anybody asks a question, they're an ignorant asshole that needs to educate themselves. I'm like, you're the transgender who's complaining about not being understood. Maybe you should be doing the educating. So I meet them on an emotional level. I try to get them to see where I'm coming from. I use a lot of analogies, something to try to place them in my shoes, and a lot of times I argue with facts, things that cannot be argued with. Because I've noticed people will just resort to insults or bullying to try to force somebody into your opinion, and that is so incredibly counterproductive. And then if all of my attempts fail at being nice and they're still rude, I'm just like, screw you, because you're a waste of my time. I'm done talking to you. If you're not even willing to listen to what I have to say or be compassionate or, empathetic to the way an entire group of people lives, then you're ignorant and I want nothing to do with you. Bye. Is there anyone special in my life that has been my rock? I would say my girlfriend, but aside from her, me. I've been my rock. Once I made the decision, I'm going to transition, there obviously is that thought in the back of your head, like, I could lose people, friends, family, and that is the decision I was willing to make, because this is my happiness, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to live for anyone else, and they're not going to live for me. My life. I do it the way I want to. And it was kind of like, if you love me for it, then I love you for it. If not, then you don't. Peace. Like, I don't care. Because it's just, it's incredible to me that people are not willing to be understanding of anything that's different from what they know. Gays, transgender, different religions, different races. It's bullshit. You may be different skin color or you may be attracted to opposite genders, but if you actually sat down and got to know that person for who they are, you may be surprised to find out you have more in common with them than you think. And it's such a small thing that you're basing your entire opinion of that person or those people or that group, and you just choose to live your life in such a hateful manner. It's yeah. But yeah, so I am my own rock. I rely on myself for my strength, for my decisions, for my courage, for my life choices. And it's been awesome because you can't really fail if you're not relying on somebody else to live your life for you. And you can't feel unloved because you're doing all the things that make you happy. You're doing all the things that make you love yourself. So it builds you up from the inside. It makes you a stronger person. And I would suggest doing it. Don't worry about your friends. Don't worry about your family. If you know you want to transition, transition. Stop second guessing yourself. But make sure it's what you want. It's not for everybody, alright? Because everybody has a different journey. Any obstacles I've faced during my transition, you know what's funny is not really. I've ran into minor bumps, but I don't really consider them obstacles. I don't feel defeated when I approach these things. They're more of like a challenge. And a lot of times they're funny. I would say the worst thing is, so when you do start hormones, your body changes rapidly. Your muscular structure, your facial structure, facial hair, your voice. But clearly you can't see your voice in a picture, but my biggest issue has been my ID. I'm 23, so I'll go to the liquor store, and nobody ever believes that it's me on my ID. So usually I just laugh, and it's when I run into situations like that, it's like 80% hilarious, 20% awkward. So I'll laugh, and I'll be like, yeah, that's me. I'm transgender. Would you like me to read any of my information off of there? And they're so shocked that I would admit that I'm transgender that even if they still don't believe me, they just let me go. Because they're like, oh, okay, that was awkward. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed I asked you that question. Just take your liquor and go. And the next worst thing is seeing people who don't know you're transitioning and have seen you before, but recognize you after, and they're like, they stand there with the deer in the headlights look talking to you. And that one's pretty funny too. But yeah, I have not had a bad reaction. I've had a very positive reaction to my transition, and I think it's because I'm so bold and confident and brazen in my decisions. I'm not ashamed to be transgender. And I'm not going to go scream it down the street, but if somebody asks me, I'm going to be like, yeah. And I'm just so happy with my decision that I've noticed a lot of people, if you're comfortable with it and you're happy with it and you're way confident in your decision, they don't judge you. And not only have I not gotten very negative responses, but I've gotten a windfall of positive responses. People thanking me for being so brave and doing things my way. And I'm like, don't thank me. Like, I'm not doing anything positive for the world. I'm just doing what makes me happy. That's that. It's like people respect that you're so adamant about living your life the way you want to. So, I think I answered all the questions on there. Aside from that, yeah, I don't know, not a whole lot of changes, as you can see. Do a little runway for you. Just kidding. No, but seriously, not a whole lot's happening. I mean, more facial hair, maybe some more muscles, coming in. Chest is definitely a lot flatter, which is nice. But yeah, so life is good. I'm going to EDC this year, Electric Daisy Carnival. If you're a raver or you like electronic dance music and you don't know what it is, YouTube it right now. Electric Daisy Carnival, 2013, Las Vegas. So, any questions, comments, go ahead and just post them below. I always respond to them. If you have anything that you want answered through a video, send me a message or whatever is going on in your mind. Alright, love you, YouTube community. Have fun. Jack, I believe your name was, in your class. I hope this was helpful. Let's try that again. I hope this was helpful for you. I had a good time answering these questions. And have a good day, y'all.